and welcome to my channel. My name is Tashima, and on this channel I discuss all things motherhood. So today I want to talk about car seat safety. I want to just start off by saying a disclaimer: I am not a car seat technician. I'm just a mom. I have 3 children, and car seat safety is very near and dear to my heart because I have been in a lot of car accidents in my life, and the last thing I would ever want for myself or for any other parents out there is to lose their child through improper car seat practices. So today is all about car seat safety. So let's get started with some stats. So Thanksgiving is coming up, and Thanksgiving is actually the busiest traveling day of the whole entire year. So I know with this year it being COVID and all of the pandemic and all that stuff going on, people may not be traveling as much, but traditionally Thanksgiving is the busiest travel day of the whole entire year, even more so than Christmas. So people are in the cars, they're on planes, they're on trains, they're flying, all of that stuff. And so of course with that, a lot of times you have children in car seats. So actually motor vehicle accidents are the leading cause of death in children ages 3 to 14 years old. So you want to make sure that you're staying as safe as possible when you are traveling with your children in a car. And 4 out of 5 car seats are not installed correctly. So just do the math on that. That's more than 80-90% of car seats that aren't installed correctly, where people think that they're doing it right, but it's actually not, and it could lead to loss of life. And it's usually not because of the car seat failing, it's usually because of improper usage. So today I just want to go over some basic tips, some basic things that you should know about car seats that hopefully will keep your child protected in the case of a car accident, so that the car seat can actually do its job correctly. My first tip is to make sure that you read the manual. When you buy a car seat, make sure that you know the ins and outs of the car seat. So I know that may seem a little bit tedious, but every car seat does come with a manual with a little small book. So actually here is an example of one. This is for one of my car seats. I have 3 car seats, of course, because I have 3 children and they all are still in the car seat age. So one of these books comes with your car seat. Make sure that you read it and you are familiar with the ins and outs of your car seat. The next thing is to make sure that you have the right seat for your child. So car seats come in a bunch of different kinds. They come in bunch of different weight categories. There are infant car seats, there are convertible car seats, there are of course booster seats, and car seats made specifically for preemies, or car seats made for children that are smaller than say a full-term baby. So when I had my first child, I had a car seat in mind that was actually in my baby registry at Target. But when I found out that she was preemie and I was going to give birth to a really small baby, then I read the car seat weight requirements, and she didn't even meet the 5 pounds for the car seat that I had in mind. So then I had to go back and find a car seat that was at least up to 4 pounds, which she was when she was discharged from the NICU. So that is something to keep in mind. If you do have a smaller baby, you want to make sure that your car seat goes down to as small as the size for your child. So next I want to talk about the latch system and seat belts. So the latch system, a lot of cars now have the latch hooks on them, and then a lot of the new car seats have the latch hooks on them. So in your car, you'll see a little, it looks like a little car seat circle button, and I will include what all of these things look like. But you will connect those hooks, the hard hooks on your car seat, onto those metal bars in your car. If you don't have the latch system, so say if your car is older than maybe like a 2000 or something like that, I'm not sure exactly when the latch system started in cars, but it is pretty standard now. So if you have a newer car, you don't even have to worry about it. But if you do have an older car, it may not have the latch system, and in that case you can use the seatbelt how you would traditionally, or how our parents probably use the seatbelt. But I do want to point out that latch and seatbelts cannot be used simultaneously because they kind of cancel each other out and make it ineffective. So if you are using latch, use just latch. If you're using a seatbelt, use just a seatbelt. Don't think that your car seat is going to be more secure because you use latch and your seatbelt. You actually have made a problem for yourself. It is unsafe, so don't use both at the same time. Use one or the other. So the next thing I want to say is, if you have other people driving your child around, if you have people transporting your child and it's not you or your partner, you want to make sure that they know how to install the car seat correctly, installing the car seat correctly. correctly in the car and installing your child correctly into their car seat. That is super huge because especially for older parents or grandparents, there's a lot of new information out there. There's a lot of different car seats and different things, like I was saying with the latch system, that they may not be used to. So they're newer and you have to kind of update them on that, on the current standards or the current equipment that's out there. If you have, say, your mom transporting your child somewhere, just make sure that she knows how to put the car seat in a car. If it's an infant car seat and it has a base and then the carrier, make sure that the base is in there the right way, that you just show her or him or whoever it is how to do it, so that your child is just as safe with someone else driving them as they are with you. I personally, whenever I am going somewhere with anyone else and they put my child into the car, if I'm going with them, I will check to make sure that it's correct. I will check the base of the car seat. I will make sure that the car seat is installed correctly, and then I will also check my child's position in the car seat as well. And so I will show some pictures of what that looks like. So a lot of times I'll have to pull up the little harness part here because I know it's supposed to be shoulder level. And so yeah, it's just no shame in going behind to check to make sure that your child is actually safe in the car. But one thing to keep in mind, if your child is rear facing, you want the shoulder straps to be below their shoulders. And if your child is forward facing, you want the straps to be at or above their shoulders. So that's just one of the things to kind of the difference with rear facing versus forward facing. Which leads me to my next point, which is keep your child rear facing as long as possible. So either until they outgrow the rear facing weight limit of their car seat, or until they outgrow the height requirement for being rear facing. I know a lot of parents turn their children around. Actually, in the state of New Jersey, it's a law that they stay rear facing, I believe, until 2 years old. But there is a reason why rear facing is recommended to be the safest way for a young child to travel in a car. And it's because in a car crash, the momentum of a child being rear facing, they kind of go back into their seat. Whereas if they're forward facing, they go forward, which causes, of course, a lot of neck and spine injuries. So rear facing, it kind of takes, their legs will take the brunt of the impact. But if they are forward facing, their whole upper body will take the brunt of the impact. And so that's the reason why rear facing is safer for smaller children. And I will include this great video that I saw, a video that I found from the doctors, and I will link that down below because it really shows you the difference of an impact of the collision for a child if they're forward facing versus rear facing. And I really feel like that brings that point home. But rear facing is definitely the safest way for your child to be in the car. I know sometimes parents turn their children around because they feel like they're uncomfortable, like their legs are too squished up. But just remember, in the case of a car accident, it's better for them to have, say, worst case scenario, of course you don't want any of these to happen, but it's better for them to have a broken leg or broken knees than a broken neck. You see what I mean by the injuries? It's just one is way more than the other. So rear facing is the way to go. The next thing that I want to point out, maybe you don't even know, is that coats are not safe for a car seat. So it's not safe for a child to have on one of those big, heavy, fluffy coats. I know it looks good and it may keep them warm, but it's not safe for them to actually be strapped into the car seat with the coat on, because that extra fluff in a coat adds a barrier between them and the straps of the car seat, and it does not get the straps as tight as they need to be to their body. So it adds extra distance between the child and their straps, which makes the car seat less effective in the case of an accident. So what I like to do instead, because I know winter's coming up, colder weather is coming up, and you may need to transport your child in colder weather. One of the things I like to do, if I know I'm taking my children out the house and it's a really cold day, I will go out and I will start up the car maybe 10 or 15 minutes before they get out there. That gets the car nice and warm, nice and toasty, and I don't even have to worry about that. And then from going from the house to the car, so I will bundle them up in their coats, hat, scarf, gloves, all of that stuff. But then when we actually get to the car, I will take those things off of them, put them in their car seat, strap them in the right way, make sure everything's nice and tight and snug, and then I will let them put the coat on top of them. So just laying loosely on top of them, like I said before, the car is already warm, so that's not an issue. And that's the way that I keep them safe in the car without actually having their coats on, because I know that's not safe. And then when we get out the car, we get to our destination, it is an extra process to take them out the car seats and put their coats back on, but that is the safest way to do it. Also saw this new jacket that kind of goes on backwards on top of your strap. So if I can find that, I will put that link down below. I haven't personally tried it, but I know some parents have and they really love it. Next point I want to make, which is a huge point I feel like, is to never leave a sleeping child in a car seat outside of the car. So especially for infant car seats, because you know those come in and out the car with the child. With the bigger car seat, you're taking your child in and out of the car seat, and most times your car seat will stay in a car. But for infant carriers, you don't want to leave your child sleeping in there. So say you've had a long drive, your child is sleeping soundly, and you're like, oh, it's okay, and you just set them on the floor. Please do not do that, because the base that stays in the car actually keeps the car seat at the correct alignment so that they don't asphyxiate, so that their heads don't drop down and they don't lose their breath. So that is why the base is specifically designed for infant carriers. If you put a child down flat on a flat surface in the infant carrier without the base, you run the risk of them asphyxiating in a car seat and possibly dying in their sleep. So you don't want to do that. Always take your child out of the car seat if they are asleep and they're in their car seat, because it's not safe for them to sleep in their car seat outside of the car. The point about car seats that I would like to mention is you should replace your car seat if you have been in a car accident. And that's even if the child was not in the car and you had the car seats in the car and you were in a car accident with the car seats in the car, you need to replace your car seat, because it makes the car seat ineffective at that point, because it's been in an accident and you don't know what could have knocked loose or what could have come undone because you can't see it. So to be on the safe side, replace your car seat. And I know a lot of times now that if you are in a car accident and you have auto insurance, your auto insurance will pay for your car seat, or they will reimburse you if you have to buy a new one if you had a car seat in a car. And actually, if you are in a car accident and your car is totaled, they won't even let you take the car seats out of the car. That's just how serious it is. So remember, if a car seat has been in a car accident, do not use it. And this is another reason why using car seats or getting car seats from other people sometimes is not that safe. You want to make sure that the car seat has never been in a car accident. And the only way to know that most times is to buy it yourself, or to buy brand new, or to get a brand new car seat donated to you. Most times it's not good to use a car seat because you don't know the history of that car seat. And then places to go to make sure that your car seat is installed correctly. So my hospital, when I was discharged, they had car seat techs where they put the base in the car, they put the child in the car, and they check their positioning. Now that's standard for me, but I have been hearing that it's not standard for every hospital that you deliver at. So you just kind of have to check. But I would say hospitals is a good place to make sure that your car seat is installed correctly. The police station also is a great place. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but they do have car seat techs there. It's usually certain days and certain hours, or you can schedule with them. But the police station is a good place to check to make sure that your car seat is installed correctly. And then sometimes fire stations. So it really just depends on your area and on your state. So down below, I will link where you can look up your state's places where they have actual certified car seat technicians who can check your car seat for you to make sure that your installation is proper. So like I said, I am not a car seat technician. This is just stuff that I have learned, that I have researched, and I thought I'd share on here on my channel, because it is so important that we keep our children as safe as we can be when we're traveling in a car, especially if we may be traveling for the holidays. So that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I heard that you learned maybe something new that you didn't know about car seats. I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Please stay safe out there with the pandemic going on. Make sure you're wearing your mask and washing your hands and using sanitizer, because things are picking up and we want to just make sure that everyone is staying safe. If you like this video, give me a great big thumbs up. Thank you for watching today, and remember to let your story be your power. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.